A woman from a Western cultural background, who has been living in India for several years, shared her experience of family life after marrying an Indian man. She is raising a child, living with her husband's family, and openly talks about the everyday realities of life in a country that is vibrant, fascinating, but often challenging. According to her, the romantic image of cross-cultural love tends to fade once daily life begins. This has nothing to do with people being good or bad, it's simply that everyday norms and expectations in India can be radically different from those common in Western societies. She highlights 5 aspects of family life that often become the most difficult adjustments for a Western woman. Number 1. Living in a large joint family. One of the first shocks is life in what feels like a human anthill. In many Western cultures, young couples usually aim to live independently and build their own household. In India, this is uncommon and often considered a luxury. The dominant model is the joint family. This means living with the husband's parents, his brothers, their wives, and children, sometimes 15 or even 20 people under one roof. For Indian women, this is normal and even convenient. There is always someone to help with childcare or cooking. For a Western woman, however, this often means a complete loss of personal space. Relatives may sit in your bedroom, and your mother-in-law might walk in without knocking. Privacy becomes blurred, and you are expected to adapt to the needs, habits, and moods of a large family clan. Number 2. Strict hierarchy within the household. Indian families are built on a clear hierarchy. The most authoritative woman in the house is almost always the mother-in-law. A daughter-in-law, especially a younger one, is expected to obey her. She may decide everything from what's cooked for dinner to what curtains are bought and where the family goes on vacation. In many families, husbands give their salaries to their parents, who then allocate money for household expenses. For a woman accustomed to financial independence, it can be extremely difficult to accept having to ask her husband's mother for money for personal needs. Number 3. Food as a daily commitment. Indian cuisine is rich and flavorful, but incredibly labor-intensive. Leftovers are often frowned upon. Meals are cooked fresh every day, 3 times a day, and women can spend half the day in the kitchen. There are no shortcuts or ready-made meals. Flatbreads like roti are prepared fresh for every meal. If the family is vegetarian, which is very common, meat is off-limits for the daughter-in-law as well. Bringing home sausage or cooking cutlets may be seen as disrespectful to family traditions. A Western woman often has to completely rethink her diet and eating habits. Number 4. Lack of privacy and constant visibility. Life in India is lived in public. Neighbors, extended family, and household staff know everything about you. If a woman goes out alone, it will be noticed and discussed. Walking by yourself is not considered normal. A woman is generally expected to be accompanied by her husband or children. A Western habit like sitting alone in a cafe with a book or walking through a park with headphones can cause genuine confusion. People may assume something is wrong in her marriage or that her behavior is inappropriate. This constant attention can be deeply exhausting. Number 5. The husband-mother relationship. Indian men tend to have very strong emotional bonds with their mothers. On one hand, this reflects respect and good upbringing. On the other, it often means that a husband struggles to make decisions without his mother's approval. In most conflicts, he will side with his mother, who holds an almost sacred position in his life. A wife needs a great deal of patience and emotional intelligence to avoid open confrontation with her mother-in-law, otherwise, she risks losing her husband's support. She concludes that it is absolutely possible to live happily in India, as long as one accepts these rules of the game. It is not a bad life, just a very different one. It is collective, noisy, filled with the scent of spices and curry, and marked by a level of control that locals sincerely describe as care.